two moons is Titan. Titan is the second largest moon in the solar system, and it's the only one that has a dense atmosphere. Mainly nitrogen, but it's got about 1.5% or so of methane as well, but mainly nitrogen. It has a yellowish colour. Most of what we know about Titan has come from Cassini. Cassini's been up there. As you see, it was launched in '97, but it's been there since 2004 and it's still there. And the mission, they've got funding to take it to 2017, if it lasts that long. Of course, it could always run out of fuel or get hit by something or electronics blow up or something like that. But for the moment, they've got funding to keep telling it to do things until the year 2017, and they may extend it even longer. You can see how big this thing is. These are people down here. So that's how big it would not fit in this room. If you laid it on its side, it would be as long as this room. So this thing, the size of this building, is going around Saturn now. One of the things that it did was the Huygens probe. This is the Huygens probe here on the side. It lowered that into Titan. Christmas Day, actually, 2004. They have explosive bolts on these things. They fire the bolts off and the Huygens probe is released. They did that on Christmas Day, and it took several weeks before it finally reached to the moon itself, to Titan. It fired a few rockets to slow itself down, and then when it was slow enough, it popped parachutes out. Because it's got a fairly dense atmosphere, it's comparable in density to the Earth. So it popped these parachutes out to slow it down so it didn't burn up. And as it floated down, they used radar. So they bounced radar off the ground and they could get an image of what the surface below them looked like. Now, they're not actually blue. The difference is blue things are very, very smooth, and the lighter the colour, the rougher it is. But it looks, and it is, like mountain ranges. So the mountains are very, very rough, and you can see it looks just like something from the Earth. This could be a lake, or rivers all through here, and you can see the little rivers join together and they flow down into a large lake, and there's little islands and everything. And they think that's what it is. It is actually lakes, but they're not lakes of water, they're lakes of methane. If you were sitting in the probe as it was descending and you had a little window to look out, this is something like what you would see. This was taken from a height of 11 kilometres. So you would see these huge mountains in the distance as you're floating down on your parachute about to land on the surface of this moon. When the probe landed, it took a picture. And this is what it saw. It's a very yellow colour because of the gases and material that's in the atmosphere. And you can see it's 98.5% nitrogen, so it's almost all nitrogen. It's actually slightly denser than the Earth's atmosphere, 1.4% methane. Yeah.
So if you light a match, you'll just blow up instantly?
Well, you might think so, but there's no oxygen, or not sufficient. Right. Things like that. If you don't have oxygen or something, nothing happens. Yeah, I'll let one question through. Yeah.
Would there be anyone in the rocket?
No. Just the robot. So the robot got the trip there, and when he landed, he took a picture, and this is what he saw. They could see all these rocks in the distance. They're actually ice. It's so cold there that ice is as hard as rock. And they also noticed that these rocks are all rounded. And usually, the only place you find rounded rocks on the Earth is near a river or something. So as the water flows past, it tumbles them and smooths them. And they think what happens here is when it rains, methane rivers come through here, and the methane turns these rocks of ice over and over and wears them until they're round. Yeah.
So, not just Earth has rain. Because I thought that only Earth had rain because I thought Earth...
Water rain, yes.
Yeah.
We have water rain. Titan appears to have methane rain. So whereas we have water, it rains in the mountains, it comes down the river and it goes to the lakes and the sun evaporates it and the water goes up and it rains again, the water cycle. On Titan, they have the same equivalent, but it's a methane cycle. So the methane rains up in the mountains, it flows down little methane rivers, flows over water ice rocks, forms into big methane lakes, the sun comes along, evaporates it, and it goes again. So it just rains methane. Yeah.
What's methane?
Methane is, it's a flammable gas. Your mum probably doesn't use it, but your dad, it's actually your mum does use it because methane is a large constituent in natural gas. So you use it for cooking, or you can also use it for welding. You know, particular types of welders can use gases like that, only acetylene and stuff, but it's a flammable gas like that. Yeah. It's also found in other things, but we won't talk about that. Put it this way, it might smell a little bit if you're on the surface. To give you an idea of size, this rock here is about 150 millimetres across and this one's about 40. So that big rock's about this big. And it's about from here to that table away. So you imagine a rock this size sitting basically where my laptop is, and another rock about a third or quarter of the size sitting next to it. And that's what the Huygens probe was looking at. Unfortunately, it can only take one picture. It didn't have anything to make it turn. But it took that picture for something like an hour or so, and they are actually looking at the picture to see if anything moved.
Yeah.
Nothing did. But that's the only picture you got. We've just got hundreds of them, and they all look the same. So if you're on the surface of Titan and you climbed up the top of some of those big mountains and you're looking down, it might look something like this. Except rather than water, these would be huge lakes with liquid methane.
Just looks like the normal rock mountains that we have on
Yeah,
Earth.
it does. Except these mountains are made of ice, water ice.
I thought
And this
they were,
water is methane.
I thought they were,
Hmm?
I thought they were rocks.
These ones, no, on Titan, the rocks are made of ice, water ice. But they're as hard as rock. So you could hit them with a hammer and nothing would happen.